Thank you, Madam Speaker. As I stand here to make my maiden speech, Madam Speaker, I'd like to thank the wonderful people who've helped me to this point. I am overwhelmed with joy, but above all, Madam Speaker, gratitude. I'm grateful to God, the Almighty, for guiding me and for blessing me with such wonderful and beautiful souls around me. To my mom and dad, I'd like to thank them for giving me such a solid foundation on which to build. To my family and friends, you know who you are. Thank you for your unwavering support throughout the years. And obviously, a special thoughts to my late brother. And I'm sure Razi would have been thrilled to see me standing in Parliament today. I'd obviously like to thank my constituency number 13, for their love and the trust that they've put in me. Number 13 was difficult. I can say it was. And being assigned number 13, 21 days prior to the elections, that was a huge challenge, Madam Speaker. But I'm happy and deeply humbled to be representing number 13. And I always say that it's a very, very beautiful constituency in terms of its good food, people, values, cultures, and traditions. So thank you, number 13, once again. I would also like to honor the women who stand by me, Madam Speaker. And I just use the word love because recently I was touched by a gesture from women of my constituency giving me that handmade card written the first woman elected in number 13. And it comprises of many photos and pictures about my journey from campaign to being in Parliament, as you can see. So I'm deeply touched, and I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I love you all. And to the men, I have a special message because I remember, when I was assigned, that was my second attempt in number 13. I was assigned 21 days before. I went there, met Honourable Jaman, Honourable Narsingen. Thank you for your support as well. And many people were skeptical about a young woman of an Islamic faith winning the elections in number 13. And I apologize about that description. Unfortunately, this is how we are described in the political arena, young Muslim woman. So I just hope that that changes with time. And here I am today in Parliament, the first woman elected in number 13. And to all my chachas in number 13, my brothers, my elders and everyone else, thank you for breaking down discrimination and thank you for trusting and respecting a woman as you do. So maybe sometimes we tended to be strict on men, but then number 13 was just fabulous. And I would also like to thank number 13 above all, Madam Speaker, for getting rid and saving our island from the irresponsible and dangerous political creators. I'm here referring to Savat Dodo and Kukuruku. So they would know Savat Dodo would be the Senior Minister of Finance and Kukuruku would be the Minister of Health. So thank you, number 13, for that as well. Obviously, lastly, I'd like to thank the leaders of this alliance, especially the Honourable Prime Minister. I think we all said it, you are a symbol of resilience. Thank you for that. But then above all, I'd like to thank you for leading with purpose and empathy. I always say that. Thank you for that. And Madam Speaker, many people have asked me why this alliance. And I tell them my choice is simple. My values align with those of the alliance. Values such as opportunity for all and unity amongst all. And I'm also proud, Madam Speaker, to be part of an alliance which values compassion for the less fortunate. And since we're talking about the less fortunate, looking at statistics, facts and figures, Madam Speaker, I think I would be factually correct if I say women are too few. We are too few in Parliament, and I think it would be factually correct to say women are less fortunate in politics and other fields. So I call for and join those who call for gender equality and better women representation. And I know all the women MPs here have spoken about the discriminatory treatment that we often face while being in politics or when in politics. So I hope that changes as well with time. And I'm confident the Honourable Prime Minister will bring measures and amendments to ensure better women representation. And Madam Speaker, talking about Honourable Tanu said it the other day, we may be few, but we are fierce. And talking about a fierce woman, congratulations to you, Madam Speaker, and thank you for your fight throughout the years for a more equitable society. It's an absolute honour to have you as our Speaker. Thank you. And we have all spoken about the 10th of November 2024, and in fact, the 10th of November 2024, the people of Mauritius said it loud and clear. No government should dare play with their unity, well, our unity, dignity, and liberty. The moment internet services were interrupted, that was the day the youth decided to change the destiny of this country. We knew by then we did not deserve such a government. And obviously, everybody has been talking about moustache leaks and whether we won the elections because of moustache leaks. I will also only say, moustache leaks only confirmed the malpractices and only confirmed how our country was being governed. And it is a shame, Madam Speaker, when you think of the amount of money that has been squandered, misused, misappropriated, or mismanaged. So much could have been done with that money. But then, as we usually say, you reap what you sow. So basically, the 2024 elections should remind us and any future government that our first loyalty should be to the people. So, and Madam Speaker, all this being said, I'm acutely aware of the challenges that our country faces in those uncertain times. Our public debt stands at a level that should be of concern to everyone. Our SMEs, the backbone of our Mauritian economy, have borne the brunt of recent economic disruptions. But then, Madam Speaker, businesses are not just statistics. They represent livelihoods and dreams. For too long, too many have been unemployed. For too long, too many have been suffering. For too long, too many have not had access to proper health care. So, and this is my appeal to this government, fair future for our citizens. And to achieve that fair future, we have to make the right choices about policy. And I'm proud when I look or read the government program, which is here, it in fact reflects the right choices, giving hope to many, giving hope to those who had, well, lost hope somehow, or who had lost faith that they could one day save some money to build a home of their own. So, and as we know, employment is the pathway to prosperity and self-esteem, and I welcome the proposals made in the government program to re-engineer the current systems with a focus on better preparing our youth for the world of work. And I also welcome the evolutionary measures that have been proposed, and I have also listened to Honourable Babouram the other day speaking about the scourges faced by our elders and families. And because of alcohol, over-indebtedness, domestic violence, and so on. So I will also say, I wish to place on record that I'm proud to be a government which is working hard and dedicated to restructuring the family unit, and as well as fostering the development of every family member. And here, talking of family member, Madam Speaker, I'd like to thank the Honourable Prime Minister for thinking of one family member which we often forget, our pets. So thank you for thinking about the animal welfare. I'm here thinking of my two cats, my Gros Minou and my Petit Minou. I also have two cats. So I support the setting up of an animal hospital, and I'm sure that it's going to be one of those most crowded hospitals in Mauritius. But then, Madam Speaker, and I have an appeal to make to the Honourable Prime Minister. I know that we are providing for a campaign, spay and neuter campaign for stray dogs, and I'll make an appeal to you to extend the campaign for stray cats as well, because as we know, when cats give birth, they rarely give birth to one baby. So I hope the Honourable Prime Minister can consider that. And Madam Speaker, I've always been passionate about justice and maybe injustice. So, and one reform which is of particular interest to me is public interest litigation, because 15 years ago, while doing my undergraduate finals, Madam Speaker, I wrote on the need to implement public interest litigation in Mauritius, and here I am today, 15 years after, part of a government which is protecting its common citizens' rights to access justice, as well as giving them a voice in matters of public importance. And my last reform that I'd like to address is the legal reforms being proposed for innovation and creativity, because we are at the moment navigating Industrial Revolution 5.0. So I welcome those legal reforms, making Mauritius an intelligent island for radical digital transformation, and I am confident that this will help Mauritius have an edge in the region of Africa, as well as bring Mauritius to new heights. So, Madam Speaker, I'll sum up. As a whole, I'll say that the government program reflects our capacity to overcome self-interest, and focus on the greater good of the nation. However, there's one social ill that I cannot miss and that we should get rid of, that is the fléau de la drogue. So many families are suffering, and this is why I make an appeal for urgent action when it comes to combating the devastating effects of drug abuse. So, Madam Speaker, our country has faced challenges, and we've emerged even stronger because our strength lies in our unity. So let us take bold, decisive action to chart a path to recovery and growth, because what matters at the end of the day, us being able to state at the end of our mandate that we were a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Vive l'île Maurice. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you.